So this is task 4, activity 2 and 3, which is about creating a household budget. So the very first thing we looked at in this course was looking at a budget and detailing essential and non-essential costs. What we're doing today is looking more deeply at kind of bringing together everything that we've learned on the different things, different costs of living, and doing our own research and actually trying to figure out a budget for this person, a livable budget where this person can afford. So we're going to look at the case of Emma, who works as a waitress and lives in a flat she shares with 2 other people. Okay, so what we've got to do is fill in the table below to make a monthly budget for Emma that she should try and stick to. Okay, there's some costs that you need to research yourself, which I'll point you in the right direction, and there are some other costs that we need to kind of figure out what our kind of limits are going to be, for the likes of buying, clothes, going out, other sort of non-essential costs. So the first, we need to work out basically the essential costs first of all. What is that going to all total up to, and then basically how much have we got left over up to our income. So to see kind of what can we afford with this budget. So copy this important information down with me. You'll need to copy this table down in a minute, but you will need to know that Emma's net income is £970 per month. Okay, so that's how much. So net income just means after tax, so that's how much actually gets paid into her bank account basically, so £970. And the flat she lives in is in the same local authority as you, is worth £72,000 for council tax purposes. So we're going to say that the flat is in Renfrewshire, and we are going to say that it is council tax band C. Okay, so you pay for council tax, and each council, so Renfrewshire, Glasgow, Inverclyde, etc., has slightly different costs of how much the council tax costs. But within that, everyone doesn't just pay the same amount. The amount you pay varies depending on how much, the size of your property, the cost of your property, the kind of size of land that you live on. So the council tax that someone pays for living in a a 1-bed flat in the middle of Paisley will be different from, say, the cost of a 5-bed house in Ralston. So those council tax bands, they are different depending on your kind of living situation. Okay, so we're gonna go with council tax band C, which you're gonna have to use to look up for the cost of council tax and water in a second. And it says the possessions she keeps in her flat are worth about £2,500 for insurance purposes, and she's got some options in terms of how she gets to work. So she could walk to work, she could also get the bus for £2.40 return, or a taxi for £4 each way. And you can kind of already logically understand that walking to work is going to be the most cost effective. Obviously getting a taxi is the laziest, we could say, and the lazier you are, the more expense essentially that's going to cost you. So we're going to have to work out which of these could she, maybe she could afford a taxi each way if she doesn't indulge in other areas. So that's what we're going to kind of work out today. So what we've got is a table here, which I'm going to zoom out on slightly so you can see the whole table. There we go. So we've got basically our item description, so just what the thing is, what the cost is, and we're going to work out what the cost is per month, and then we're going to try and work out our total monthly spend. Now what I want you to do just now is to pause the video and create this little table here, and I'm actually going to add a little bit to the side and say that her income, or we just write at the side that her, just so we have it here, so her income, her basic net income was 970 pounds a month. So it's her income per month is £970 per month. Okay, so that's the kind of number, that's our maximum that we can work towards. So pause the video just now and copy down this table. Okay, so hopefully you have this whole table copied down now. We have to do a little bit of research for ourselves to figure out some prices here. So we've got the rent. Remember, it said she lived in a flat with 2 other people, so the total rent for this flat was £840, but it's split 3 ways. So her share is £280 that she pays in rent per month. And the gas and electricity bill, again, that would be split into 3. Everyone would pay even amounts. So that is working out at £48 per month for her. So what we have to do is work out kind of some of these essential costs. So council tax and water charge. So that is essential. You cannot avoid paying that. TV licence fee, we'll talk about in a wee second. Mobile phone, obviously she's going to want to have. And then we've got we've got savings and emergencies, so she needs at least 5% of income per month paid, for savings basically. So we'll get to that in a minute. And then in between that is kind of all of your non-essential costs that we need to sort of weigh up with each other. So the first thing I want you to do is to look up the council tax and water charge. Now, what if you just type in Renfrewshire council tax charges or Renfrewshire council tax bands, you should get a Renfrewshire council website, and it gives you a table which has the total charges for council tax and what, and it said waste management, sewer, I think, what does it say, sewer, council tax, water, sewerage, and your total bill. So that's basically what you're paying for with your council tax. You're paying for water, which seems funny to kind of that you have to pay to just get water, but that's what you have to do. So you have to pay for water, and you're also paying for the kind of waste management, the sewerage services. And council tax as well, you're paying for the benefit of living in that property within that council. Okay, so if you go to that Renfrewshire website and you go to your council tax charges table, and we're in the valuation band C, so it gives you your council tax charge, your water charge, your sewage charge, and then a total charge. So if you need to look that up, pause the video just now and look up that value, and that is for a yearly value. So what you're going to have to do is write down that value and then divide it by 12 to turn it into a monthly value. So take a minute to do that now by yourself, and then I'll get the solution in a wee second. Okay, so hopefully you found that value okay. For a year, this was 1,567. So the annual, this is for council tax. We'll say council tax and water. So annually, that was £1,567 and 59 pence. Now, council tax is usually paid over 10 months. You usually don't pay in January and February. This is to give people a kind of break, if you like, after the expensive cost of Christmas. You can actually ask to get it paid over 12 months, but most people actually just pay it over 10 months. So we're not going to split this into 12 actually. We're going to split it into 10 basically, and we'll actually have 2 months where we don't have to pay any council tax. That's the general way that it's done. So if we divide it by 10, all it does is we move the numbers one place to the right of the decimal point, so it becomes £156, and rounded to the nearest penny, that is 76 pence. So £156 and 76 pence there. Okay, the TV licence fee, that is something that you can just research yourself. So literally just type in TV licence fee, and it should tell you what it currently is. Again, like the council tax, it changes year on year, usually goes up in value every year and rate with inflation. So what is the current TV licence fee? So look that up just now too. Okay, so if you manage to get onto tvlicensing.co.uk, you should see that it gives you a couple of options for paying your TV licence. It's upfront in full, £157.50, or in monthly it's £13.13. So if you times monthly by 12, it's almost exactly the same. I think it's a few pennies extra. So £13 and 12. Sorry, what did I say? £13.13 per month for the TV licence fee. And even if you do not watch, so you might think, well, do I need a TV licence fee? I don't watch, terrestrial TV. I only watch Netflix, or only watch Disney Plus. To stream anything on any device, even if you don't have a TV, if you're streaming it on a tablet, you still need to have a TV license fee. In order to go on BBC iPlayer, you need a TV license fee. In order to use, all these other things, you have to have a TV license fee. So even if you don't have a TV, you still need to get a TV license fee. Okay, so very, very important. Your mobile phone, now that's something that you may know, how much you pay in your contract for your mobile phone. There's obviously different ways to do that. Some people just get a contract and that's, for their new phone and their data and their whatever, and that's just one cost. Some people prefer to buy the phone outright, and then have a contract just for your data and your calls, etc. You can also do pay-as-you-go SIM cards as well, which isn't, a contract per month. It's just you top up as you go. But most people these days have a contract. So really, if you know your own mobile phone contract per month, then put it in just now. A kind of average one, I'm going to say, is about £30. So I'm going to put in £30 for there. All right. The only other essential cost that we've got is this savings in emergencies. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to try and save a bit of money or keep a bit of money aside in case something goes wrong. So we're going to work out 5% of the income. Now remember, the income was £970, so we've got 5% of £970. So a percentage of something is 5 divided by 100 times 970. So that's 0.05 times 970. 5 divided by 100 times 970. So that little bit extra that you're going to put away each month comes to £48.50. Okay, so what I want to do just now is just to add up everything that's in my table, remembering that our total income is £970. So we're going to see basically what we've got here, and then how much have we got left to pay for all of these kind of non-essential, well, food and drink obviously is essential, but some of these other things that we would like to pay for. So 280 plus £156.76 plus £13.13 plus 48 plus 30 plus 48.50. So that's coming to 576. So we've basically got about 400 quid, 414, 413 pounds to play with here. So food and drink is probably the next one we need to go to. Now, that is, including your weekly shop, not just talking about going out for drinks or going out for, a restaurant dinner. Obviously, you need to, at the bare minimum, just feed yourself for the week. So that is probably going to cost for yourself, minimum 30 quid a week just for, the food to feed you. And this is not talking about going out. So that's 30 times 4, so that's going to be 120 quid a week just for food and drink. Obviously, you'd want to spend a bit more time, maybe having a few nights out, maybe having a few dinners out. So you maybe want to, take that up to about £200 a month. I think that would be reasonable. Okay, so that's leaving us with about 214 quid left. That going out includes that. So that kind of covers the going out, I suppose. Hairdressers, I guess, for quite important to get your hair sorted for some people. Some people go more regularly than others. Gym, obviously very important for some people. So if you are wanting a gym membership, which you should be keeping fit and healthy, that's probably going to cost you about 30 quid a month. Hairdressers, probably about 20 quid a month. Then you've got, do you want to take the luxury of the buses, the taxis? Do we want to put money away for a holiday? Well, it'd be nice to put money away for a holiday each month. Certainly a lot of us are probably thinking about that right now. So I think it would be good to maybe put 50 quid away. So we had £214 left, that's an extra 100. So we've got about £114 left. So, that probably means we've got some money that we can splash on some new clothes. Maybe, what did we say, the buses, how much did the bus cost? The bus was £240 return. Okay, and within a month, she's going to work 20 days. 5 days a week times 4. So 2.4 times 20. So that's 48 quid, so that's basically £50 on buses, so I think we can afford that. We've got about another about another 70 quid to spend now. So the going out kind of included that food and drink. We're going to try and avoid the taxes because that's quite a big cost. So maybe we've got about another 50 quid on clothing, and then that leaves, the resulting. Well, we'll leave a wee bit. That'll kind of cover us, and we'll still be a wee bit under our income. Okay, so let's add all of that up, and that's a pretty reasonable and kind of manageable budget that we should hopefully have for Emma. So adding all of these things together in a calculator. What are we at now? So that takes me to £896.39. So actually, I still have, I've still got about £75 I could spend on something. So, this is where you need to make the decision. Do you put that extra £75 into your savings? Do you put that extra £75 to your holiday fund? Or do you put that extra £75 into, going out, or more food and drink, or taking a taxi to work rather than getting the bus? This is where you need to make that decision. So I'll leave that up to you to decide. Right now this is at £896.39, and then you have an extra £60 to do whatever you want. So these are the kind of things you need to be thinking about. You all should be able to create a budget similar to this when you have a job and when you start paying for things like rent and TV licence fee and gas and electricity. It's very important to add up your spending of your essential costs to then work out how much can I spend on my kind of non-essential costs.